So it was a great catastrophic war. Some 8 million people dead, 20 million plus injured. Okay, life, limb, property, huge destruction. See, at the core, we human beings, we are a violent species. Okay, whether you agree with this or not, we love violence. You may say, sir, I'm a very peace loving person. Okay, I'm not a violent person, but we are committing violence on other species. Are we not committing violence? Right? We're committing violence on forests, we're committing violence on nature, and we have come to dominate the ecological pyramid. We are at the top now, for several millennia, in fact. Were we over there always? क्या हम हमेशा टॉप पर थे? No. अगर आप ओरिजिनल आपको नेचर का स्कीम ऑफ थिंग्स अगर आप देखेंगे तो ह्यूमन बीइंग्स ड्यूरिंग द स्टोन एज एंड ऑल दोस टाइम्स वर नॉट एट द टॉप ऑफ द इकोलॉजिकल पिरामिड. वी वर समवेयर इन द मिडल, बीच में थे हम. बट वी आर अ इंटेलिजेंट स्पीशी, नंबर वन. एंड नंबर टू, we have one more quality which other species don't have. And what is that? Our ability to cooperate and form very large groups. एक किताब है, नाम लिखिएगा, write the name of this book. Name of the book is Sapiens. Name of the book is Sapiens. Writer is Yuval Noah Harari. Yuval Noah Harari. You read that? Acha. So in this book, Yuval Noah Harari says कि हमारे पास में दो qualities हैं which have enabled us to be what we are today. कौन सी दो qualities कहता है वो? वो कहता है एक तो है हमारा language में we can speak, ठीक है? And second is our ability to believe in fiction. इसे रिलीजन है. वो क्या कहते हैं रिलीजन? वी ऑल हैव अग्रीड इन सर्टेन रिलीजन कि हाँ भाई देयर इज अ गॉड, देयर इज अ हियर आफ्टर डेथ, सो ऑन एंड सो फोर्थ. ही सेज दैट दिस इज अ फिक्शन दैट पीपल बिलीव, एंड बेस्ड ऑन दैट मिलियंस एंड बिलियंस ऑफ पीपल आर लीडिंग देयर लाइफ अकॉर्डिंग टू देयर रिलीजन. ठीक है? या कंपनी है, आपने टाटा कंपनी का नाम सुना होगा, राइट? सो व्हाट इज टाटा कंपनी? ऑल सेड एंड डन, इट्स अ पेपर. On the paper, they have created a company, put a stamp, seal of the ROC, Register of Companies, and everybody believes that, okay, there's a company called Start. Can you feel a company? Can you touch a company? No. We can't. It's a fiction that we believe in. Okay? So Yuval Noah Harari says that these are the two qualities that human beings have, which have enabled them to reach where they have reached. Okay? और ये सारा जो हमारा violent nature है दोस्तों, it was always there, right from the beginning. But one thing that changed this or amplified this was industrial revolution. Because of industrial revolution, our capacity for violence suddenly ramped up like never before. ठीक है? So before World War I, or before you can say the 19th century also, we were fighting wars, killing each other. But then that was done through what? Swords, spears, these kind of weapons. Industrial revolution ने इसको amplify कर दिया. Okay? Industrial revolution ने communication, technology, transport, इन सारी चीजों को इतना बदल दिया that for the first time we have a war that is being fought by almost the entire civilized world and is being fought on multiple different continents. That is why it is called as World War. और देखिए इत्तेफाक नहीं है. Where does the industrial revolution start? 18th century Britain. ठीक है? 19th century में it gets diffused to other parts of Europe. Everybody becomes industrial. And 20th century की शुरुआत में we have such a humongous conflict. Do you understand this? So human being remains the same. We have that same ambition, we have the same envy, we have the same jealousy, सब कुछ है. टेक्नोलॉजी उसको मैनीफोल्ड कर देती है. Got this idea? ठीक है? So what is World War I? It's a huge conflict that was fought from 1914 to 18 between two set of powers. On one side were the central powers, Germany, Austria, Hungary, Ottomans also joined them. And on the other side we had triple entity, Britain, France and Russia. ठीक है? It was a fight that included all civilized countries in the world and was fought on multiple different continents. 8 million dead, 20 million injured, and several other dislocated, uprooted, entire economies collapsed. What is this? This is nothing but World War I. Clear, everyone? Okay. This war did not remain limited to the war zone alone. It had impact on every aspect of human life, चाहे international relations हो, social aspects हो, technology हो. जैसे आज today it is very common for us to fly in aeroplanes, right? You might have flown, or people, a lot of people who have been frequent travelers, right? But where did this technology come from? Okay, World War I created that space for air power. For the first time, aeroplanes were used. Okay, little bit for bombing and stuff, not very significantly, but a lot for travel and communication. Okay, that technology, all technologies that we use today, they originally somewhere they have been used by militaries. Like for example, you have GPS in your phones. You're tracking your Uber wala where he is when he is coming. Do you do that? Okay. This technology was used by USA in 1970s and 80s. What we are now using. What were they using for? For military purpose. Okay. Today, USA and China have such precise satellites that if my bike is standing over there, okay, they can read my number plate from the space. My bike ka number plate can be read from the space. Okay. All these technologies, they've come from where? They've come from warfare. And World War I, internet in itself has come from wars. Okay. So all major technologies, they got a big boost in this process. Medicine. Malaria was a very common disease. Malaria के treatment के लिए जो medicine था, quinine, that when the Germans were fighting in the wars, in the jungles, their soldiers were suffering because of malaria. So the Germans discovered the solution to this from the quinine. It's a bark from the bark of a tree. That malaria pill was discovered. Okay. So what is World War I? At the core, we have understood. Why are we obsessed in Europe when we study world history? Why do we talk so much about Europe and the West? कभी सोचा है आपने? Why do we talk about Europe? We are appearing for civil services of India. Why should we study what is happening in Europe? Why not say what is happening in Africa or what is happening in Latin America? वो तो हम कभी देखते भी नहीं हैं. Why Europe? Can you tell me? Logically, इसके लिए कोई पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. It's all about logic. Why do we focus on Europe?
Technological developments or advancements always take place first.
Okay, that is one reason, but before tech development, that's a consequence. You're right, but not precise. There's something before that. Technology से पहले क्या आएगा? Huh? Revolution, yes. Okay. उसको मैं थोड़ा precise अगर कर दूं, तो new political ideas that are the base of modern world today, all of them have emerged in the 17th, 18th, 19th century in Europe. जो कुछ भी आज दुनिया मॉडर्न वर्ल्ड जैसे फंक्शन कर रहा है, उसके बेस में जो आइडियाज है, डेमोक्रेसी comes from Europe, secularism comes from Europe, ठीक है, idea of separation of power comes from Europe, federalism comes from Europe, ठीक है. So all of revolutions में से वो ideas आई. Idea about individual freedom, liberty, equality, fraternity. हमारे it was very normal for a person to accept that see I have been born in a so-called lower caste, तो मेरा धर्म यही है कि मुझे वही काम करना है. I have to serve others. Europe gave the idea of equality and fraternity. And that when reached India, Indians started to question that why just because I'm born in some family, I'm perpetually condemned to a certain type of life. Why is that so? Where are these ideas coming from? These ideas are coming from Europe. दुनिया को shape किया. आज अगर भारत ideas वैसे दे दें, which are going to become the next structural features of the world, then they will study our history. Notice, ideas are very important. Ideas shape our behavior, human beings ka behavior. Okay, ideas shape behavior and institutions.